Hello everyone, my name is Shine. Today I am finally checking out the return of Hotshot. I thought this would be appropriate as the first reaction I do in Korea because this team has a special meaning for me. I'll definitely mention that after I react to this and give my thoughts on this comeback. But this is definitely a long way to come back, so I'm really excited for this. So, without further ado, this is Hotshot with I Hate You. Here we go. Boldly looking into the future isn't because the reality covers your own eyes. Nothing scary is unexpected. I don't see anything like I lost my sight. God, it's been so long since Hotshot, dude. I cannot wait till someone comes back to them though. Also, I apologize if the volume's a bit low. I was trying to figure out a good... I'm trying to find a good volume since it's my first time recording here. Wait. Were they all involved with the girl? What? Oh my god, dude, this was so different from Jelly, which they came back with last year. Oh my gosh, I want to cry. Also, it seems like, okay, I'm gonna break this down. So, in the music video, it seems like they all were in love with this girl. It seems like it. Like they were, like, they're all good friends with her, but at some point, each of them, at some point, kind of like fell in love with her. And it seems like at the end, Hojung ended up with her, but it seems like the other guys were okay with it. Unless it's the, I guess the idea that the other boys were different steps in the relationship, and it eventually came back to Hojung, who's like, I guess, the ending point, the happy point, I guess you can say. I don't know, it could be one of those, but I'm leaning more towards that the boys of Hotshot were in love with this girl. Or my view is that they're all friends, but at some point they all fell in love with her, but in the end Hojung got her, is my thinking. I don't know how correct it is, but oh my gosh, I want to cry. So first of all, this song is absolutely beautiful. I'm really curious as to what the choreo is and whatnot. I'm definitely going to be going back and checking a lot of their live performances now. I'm going to be checking their dance practices and whatnot. But oh, Hotshot, so good to be back. See them back. Obviously we had Taehyun and Sungwoon joined Produce 101 with Sungwoon going into 101, and then later down the road we had Taehyun debut in JBJ, which now has disbanded, and then we had Hojung and Timo in the unit, with Hojung making it into U and B, and now that I think U and B is done. I don't know yet. There's a lot of rumors flying about, but I don't know yet. I think they are more or less finished, but yeah, that's pretty much the gist of everything. That's why I think it took a while for Hotshot to come back, is because they're waiting for the rest of the members to come back, or I guess they're mostly waiting for Hojung's time with U and B to be done so they can come back, and obviously after this comeback we're waiting for Sungwoon to come home, and so we can have a full team of Hotshot back. So I did mention in the beginning that I do have somewhat of a special connection with Hotshot, and it's the reason why I wanted my first reaction in Korea to be of Hotshot. It's because they came back last year with Jelly, and that happened to be the time I was in Korea. So, and I got to see them in person. I managed to get to a Simply K-pop recording. If y'all don't believe me, here's a photo. It's me sitting next to Eli, when Eli was the MC of that show, before he left. I got interviewed by him, that's why I was sitting next to him, and it's probably the most embarrassing interview of my life that I refused to watch the video. I know I memorized which episodes it was, and if you guys are curious, this episode, I think I get interviewed in episode 275, but I can also be seen in episode 274. If you guys want, I can also give you a breakdown of how I got in, what it's like, you know, being in the recording. What I did was a live recording, and Hotshot happened to be one of the people who were performing during the live recording, and so I got to see them. For one, they're super handsome in person, and two, Taehyun is actually a lot smaller than I expected. Like, I know he's tall, but obviously when he's next to certain people, he looks like tiny, right? But in person, it didn't seem like me and him had a great like height difference. And I'm like 5'1". I think that's like 159 centimeters, something like that. I don't know. But I'm 5'1", and just looking at Taehyun, it seemed like I didn't have a lot of there wasn't much difference between us, but I know he's probably a great deal taller than I am. But I think I mentioned this in my JBJ reaction somewhere, of how I got to know Hotshot. Basically, I got to know Hotshot, I think around 2015, late 2015, early 2016. but it wasn't until Produce that I ultimately got into them, because Sungwoon and Taehyun's audition, I guess, the evaluation, the first episode where they were formed in front of the other trainees was just fire, and I'm just like, why have I not gotten to these kids before? So I'm so happy to see them back. I'm so happy to see, you know, it seems like their company is definitely trying to give them a lot more support now. It seems like it, you know. So it's really good to see Hotshot, and it warms my heart that I'm back in Korea as they're making a comeback. So it's like I kind of have that special connection. I kind of wish I was in Seoul, so I can go to a Simply K-pop recording again, and hopefully see them again. But alas, I'm in a different city, but maybe if they come nearby, I might try to go to a fan sign or something. I don't know. I'm trying to just get settled at work right now, but yeah, that's pretty much my special connection with them. It's just the fact that they happened to come back in Korea when I was in Korea last year. When they came back with Jelly, I happened to get into a live recording at Simply K-pop when Eli was the MC. Got interviewed by Eli. Again, it's episodes 274, 275. I believe it's 275 I get interviewed in. Someone I met there got interviewed in 274, and I was sitting next to them. I pretty much somewhat, you know, became friends with them and whatnot. Or we just, like, you know, hung out that day because I was by myself, they were together, and, you know, just chit-chat like, hey, we're the foreigners here. But anyway, that's beside the point. Like I said, I could explain my experience there, even though it's a year later. I could pretty much talk about my whole experience in Korea last year and compare it to my time this year, or this time around, but, you know, again, that's a whole different story. So simply put, all in all, I love this comeback. I'm really super curious about what the choreo is like. The story of this MV kind of goes two ways for me. Either the members of Hotshot were in love with this girl at some point, but then in the end Hojung ends up with her, and they seem okay with it. The other point is that the boys of Hotshot were some bad points in the relationship, and Hojung ends up being like that happy point, which is why the boys in the end are smiling. It's kind of like my mistakes have been corrected in a way, if that makes sense. But yes, I love this comeback. Definitely have to do a lot of catching up now and whatnot, but I'm really excited to see Hotshot back, and I cannot wait to see what's in store for them. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this reaction. If you did, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.